I'm back, and I'm excited to chat with two executives who are redefining team collaboration in the age of AI. Glean is a leviathan in workplace productivity with more than 500 companies on the platform and a $4.6 billion valuation. And over the past year, it's really leaned into generative AI. It just launched a platform that helps users build their own agents. Likewise, Airtable is also a giant in team collaboration with over 500,000 organizations on its platform, and it's also in the midst of a massive overhaul that will turn it into a completely AI-native platform by the summer. So, first question for you, Arvind. The story of Glean has changed so much over the past 5 years. Can you give us a quick synopsis on how you went from being a Google for businesses to a go-to assistant for corporate workers?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Glean started as the Google for your business 6 years back actually now, and this was somewhat pre-generative AI, but it was actually after the transformer models had actually already come into the marketplace. And so our idea was that hey, within the business, you have so much data, so much knowledge, information is spread across so many different systems, and whenever somebody has a question, they actually really can't find the information that they need. So we wanted to build this product which looked and felt like Google, and it helps you sort of find things inside the company. And Transformers actually played a key role even on day one. So 6 years back, we were using this technology to help match users' questions with the right documents and knowledge within your company. But as the time as things progress, now models actually over the next few years develop more capabilities, reasoning capabilities, generation capabilities, and that sort of allowed us to naturally expand the capabilities of our product. So instead of when somebody comes and asks questions, just surfacing the right information to them, we could actually go one step further, use AI to actually read all of that knowledge and data, and actually synthesize and generate answers back for you. So the product sort of started to look and feel more like ChatGPT, but inside your company. And then, of course, if you think about last 1 year, the people with Glean, they get this general purpose AI assistant inside their company. They can go to it. They can ask any questions. We bring the right answers. They can do some work in there. But a lot of what people are trying to do with AI now is they want to take this actual business processes, specific business processes, and they want to bring some automation using AI in those. They want to improve those processes. And so we were already in this place where we're connected. Glean as a platform is connected to all of the enterprise data and systems, and so that makes it very easy for you to build agents. Because if you think about agents, they need to work on some data, make AI play with it, do some reasoning on it, and then generate some work which you save back in those systems. So the fact that Glean as a platform is connected to all of your enterprise systems, read knowledge from there and also take actions in those, it was sort of quite natural for us to use those capabilities and actually build this really easy to use agent platform. So that's sort of the origins. It has felt very natural to us. As AI kept getting better and better, it just allowed us to improve our product.
Yeah, and similar question for you, Howie. Airtable has gone from being Silicon Valley's favorite spreadsheet and data app to a system of record for the largest enterprises. How did you make that transition?
Yeah, and the founding vision for Airtable was always around democratizing app creation. So we pioneered the no-code app category, which is really about enabling anyone to go and build their own apps, right? And so as we've scaled up, we've increased the complexity and scale of the apps that can be built on the platform. But I think what's really exciting now is that, if you think about what AI can do for app building, it's really the biggest transformation since maybe computing period, right? And so a lot of what we're now working on is using AI to really have this hybrid experience where you can see the apps that are being built by AI, but then go and manipulate it and have a seamless handoff between humans building apps and AI building apps.
Amazing. AI adoption, though, often faces resistance in organizations. Can you both talk about some strategies that businesses can use to ensure a more seamless implementation of this technology?
Yeah, sure, I can go first. So I think when you think about challenges with AI inside the enterprise, number one is making these technologies work in your enterprise, because the language models themselves actually don't know anything about your business, your data, and so you have to somehow connect your enterprise context, knowledge, information with these models. So that's the first challenge. It's just hard. Second challenge is around security. That's the thing that we hear the most. Like, how does a business feel comfortable that their data is secure, not leaving their company, but even within their enterprise, that when you connect all of the data to AI agents, that you're sort of respecting the governance and and security of all of your enterprise content. So those are the two big challenges that we often hear about. And then the third one is that, well, there's so many products, so many AI tools. In fact, every software company now has become an AI company, and so it's a challenge for them. Like, nobody knows like what's going to happen, who are going to be the winners in this space. So with all those three things, what we have felt like a good story, which actually matches the technology that we've built is, number one, like think about establishing an AI team inside your company. A team that can actually centrally sort of take all the different business needs, create a roadmap for your company, and sort of progress, make small bets. Like, don't try to actually immediately focus on ROI, focus on education first, like make your workforce trained with AI. So that's one of the things that we suggest. Which and then second thing that we also talk about is that maybe invest in a more horizontal platform for AI, where you can actually get one platform that allows you to work with all the LLM technologies that are available out there, that also allows you to work with all of your business data within the single platform, so you don't have to actually go and buy 100 different tools when it comes to adopting AI. So those are some of the techniques that we talk about.
For us, it's really about imagination. I think the capabilities of the models, even from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, were extremely potent in terms of the value they could create in enterprise or really any business. And yet, there's obviously a huge gap between what the models can do and what they're actually being deployed to do in every company. And so for us, that gap is all about imagination, and we're addressing it in two ways. One is with our self-serve business. So we have these millions of app builders, no-code app builders, that have become part of the Airtable community and continue to come into our platform because it's really delightful and almost fun to go and build apps, right? And so we want to continue to empower them with the ability to now build AI-powered apps, and doing things like using AI to help them build those apps, using AI to suggest ways to introduce AI into the apps. It's very meta, but we find that it's really about empowering these people who are closest to their work. Maybe it's a small business owner who understands how they want to track clients differently, and now using AI, they can automatically pull in web data about each of their clients. On the enterprise side, we're also working with some of the world's largest companies, media companies, running content production workflows in Airtable, or running large-scale marketing operations on Airtable. And there, a lot of what we're doing is hand-holding these companies and showing them some of the flagship ways in which they can, really introduce smart AI reasoning into these use cases.
Amazing. Well, ultimately, for any business, users are the champions. Can you both talk a little bit more about how users are surprising you with unique ways of using your products, and how are you then using that knowledge to inspire new products or innovations?
Yeah, so on our front, because of this large community of software builders that we already have in our platform, I think it's been really interesting to watch what these people who are extremely high will and high skill go out and build with AI, right? And it's very different from them going and just using chat experiences, for instance. They're actually able to build applications. So whether that's automatically generating all of their marketing content with an app, or having a use case where they can automatically keep tabs on their competitors using an AI agent in Airtable to go and do research on competition. They're able to go and take their business problems, their jobs to be done, and imagine them with AI. And so I think what we've learned is both what are the common use cases. We've found a common pattern around document extraction use cases, so taking legal contracts, taking any kind of docs really, and analyzing insights out of that, and then creating a workflow around it. Also doing research, so not just doing a one-off research or deep research, search as you would in OpenAI or Grok, et cetera, but being able to automate it systematically across a number of customers or people, et cetera. So what we're now able to do is lean heavily into those capabilities and help encourage our customers through in-product experiences to experience the value of using AI.
Yeah, and for us, so Glean is a very broad horizontal platform. It connects with your HR systems, CRM systems, engineering systems. And so as such, like, it's like what people do with Glean, it's a very broad set of use cases. They build agents for engineering, sales, support, HR, IT, finance, legal. But the thing that I've been, like really surprised and also, quite amazed by is when you make it easy for people to build agents, when you actually bring that capability to non-developers, like business users, who can just say that, hey, look, I do this work, I don't like it, can you do it for me? Like if it could be as simple as that, then amazing things start to happen. And one of the ones that I will give an example, which we never thought that this would be an agent that somebody would build, is people really hate doing performance reviews. Mm-hmm. And it's probably one of the most tedious process that you have to go through, like once a year or twice a year. And so many of our customers have actually they built these agents, that as a developer or as a employee, I actually now ask AI to actually generate the report of all the work that I did last year, and organize it in a way which makes it easy for my managers and my peers to read about it. And so that was actually one of the most interesting applications that we've seen. In fact, like many customers in parallel on their own, without getting inspiration from each other, have built. And like it was a validation to this idea that, like, look, if you make agents easy, you don't need developers anymore, and people will figure out, like, how to take these tedious, time-consuming processes and start to automate them with AI.
Amazing. Well, there's been a lot of hype around generative AI, but I think people have reached a point where they're wondering where the results are. So can you talk a little bit more about the tangible business outcomes that customers have been able to achieve with generative AI?
Yeah. Maybe I can go first. So with Glean, like the number one, if you think about AI applications across the industry, I would say there are probably 3 top AI applications today in the enterprise. Number 1, AI is being used for knowledge access. Number 2 is being used for software code generation, and number 3 for customer service and support. Like those are the 3 biggest applications that we hear about. Now, when it comes to like knowledge access, that's a little bit of a fuzzy, domain, and it's hard to actually figure out, like, what's the real ROI for it. But oftentimes, what people do is they actually survey, they ask people, like, how much time is AI saving them on a weekly basis. And routinely with Glean, we hear people, like, find out that it's saving people 3 to 4 hours of time every week. So that's sort of soft ROI, like, the CFO doesn't really know what to do with it. But when you start to go functional, like, for example, take customer service. So we have large enterprises that have deployed Glean to their entire customer service team, and now case resolutions are happening 45% faster than before. And that translates to hundreds of millions of dollars of ROI immediately, because that's the metric. They know how much it costs to actually service one particular customer ticket, and if you can bring it down by 45%, that's like $10 to $12 that you're saving on a per ticket basis. Similarly, for some of our customers, they use Glean for sales, prospecting. They can see that the cost of actually getting a meeting in an enterprise software company is about $1,000. And if you can get your BDRs to actually get 2 meetings instead of 1, because AI is helping them prospect so much, that's you're actually cutting down the cost by $500. So you can actually get to, like, as you go functional, you're able to get into very, very hard business metrics and ROI with AI, and people are seeing a lot of success with it.
I think for us, it's been interesting to watch the evolution of the AI use cases go from just automation and time savings, which are really, really valuable, and it's very, straightforward to quantify. Hey, if for a media company we can automate tedious content tagging or content summarization work and save literally hundreds of human hours per week, and that's worth a lot of money. I mean, that might save you from having to make an extra hire or multiple. But what we're now seeing is an evolution to now revenue generating or strategically impactful use cases. So I mentioned before a lot of excitement from our customers around customer intelligence or competitive intelligence. So using AI, for instance, if you're a legal firm, to keep tabs on every single one of your clients or prospective clients, right? So if you're a litigation firm, seeing, hey, Apple just launched a product that could have some infringement issues with the IP ownership of Samsung or other companies, if you can now automate the tracking of news and have AI basically synthesize an insight and say, hey, look, based on your practice, this partner should reach out at this moment to that company, and maybe they'll get you a major new case that could be worth tens of millions of dollars to you. That's actually really, I think, where the breakthrough outcomes come and where we're going to see winners and losers in the enterprise landscape. I mean, the companies and even small businesses, the companies that are able to figure out not just how to save on cost, but also how to be competitively advantaged and get more business, better business, and serve their customers better with AI, I think are going to win and grow quite a bit over the next decade, while the ones who don't may not.
Yeah, actually, I fully agree with what Howie's saying. I think a lot of AI is not about ROI this year. I would focus more on number one, education, and number two, how can you work differently and do things you couldn't do before. So I fully agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Amazing. And then last question, what do you both see as the next major innovation in workplace AI?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I think there's always this lag of adoption from the technology, right? And so, even when the internet first came out, there were a few websites, but it took probably over a decade for us to really see the value of the internet, right? And there was a little bubble in between before we kind of, experienced the durable value of the internet. And I think with AI, these models have progressed so rapidly, and what you can do with them is evolving so rapidly as well. Like agents, there was this Chinese company Manus that just launched a few days ago and kind of took the internet over with the excitement around now what you can do with these very, very smart, very autonomous agents. And so I think, from my point of view, it's really just about how do we bring those to every business, every user within the business, and make those capabilities really accessible. So we're less interested in predicting the future and taking what's already out there and making it 100x more available and deployed.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I would actually share the same thing. I think first, when you think about AI and the model capabilities today, I think we haven't exercised even 5% of the current capabilities that AI gives to us. There's so many great products that we're going to see this year, which doesn't really need further advances in LLM tech. But I think for me, I think the big impact for AI is going to come when it becomes truly accessible. Today, all the things, you go on Twitter, you see all the cool things people are doing with AI. This is still largely confined to software developers, or folks who are not necessarily developers, but still are very sort of tech first. And I think that is something that will change or has to change this year, where AI becomes so accessible, it comes to you and it also breaks your inertia as a business user, and motivates you to sort of use AI to help you get a lot of your work done for you, and gives you the capability and confidence that you can go and build all these AI agents to truly sort of work differently. So that's sort of what I think is going to happen. The technology is going to get more and more commonplace and proactive for us.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.